I loved you in silence. I loved you in silence, where words dared not go, in the space between heartbeats, where only the soul could know. You were the sunrise in my endless night, the reason my darkness ever saw light. You were the voice that my dreams would hear, the softest whisper that drew me near. I walked through deserts not to find land but to follow the trace of your shadow, your hand. They say princes rule kingdoms with crowns and command, but I only ruled pain. In a world made of sand, crowned by your memory, and drenched in rain, I carried your name through joy and pain. You were never mine, yet always never, a ghost in my laughter, a breath in my fear. I smiled for the world, but inside I cried. They saw me standing, not how I died. Every poem I wrote was a secret. I kept a promise I whispered each night. I wept. I whispered your name to the stars in the sky, and every time they blinked, I thought they replied, You live, you live in my verses, in every rhyme, your dance through my words and travel through time. I loved you in silence with a fire untold burning brighter and brighter as the nights grew cold. I built you a palace inside my mind where echoes of love were easy to find. Every corner whispered, every wall knew your name, and even the shadows burned with your flame. Your eyes were oceans where I learned to drown. No crown could save me, no robe, no gown. I wrote you in mind, in dunes and in dust, in the quiet of faith, in the echo of trust. You walked through my dreams with grace so divine. Even the moon would bow to your shine. They saw me as strong, unbroken, and tall, but no one could hear the cracks in my wall. You were the silence between thunder and rain, a pause in my chaos, a sweetness in pain. You were the calm after storms had passed, the first deep breath I took at last. I saw your reflection in mirrors and lakes, but touching the surface made it all break. I never said it, not in words, not in line, but my soul screamed your name 1,000 times. To the world I smiled in robes I stitched with gold, but inside I carried stories untold. You were the reason I counted each star, hoping one held the soul of who you are in my palace of silence. Your name fills the hall, a haunting song that echoes through all. I kissed the air where you once stood and cried in places that once felt good. I spoke to the wind and begged it to stay, to carry my love to where you lay. If only you knew the weight that I bear, the love I still build, the prayers I still share. I loved you in silence, but louder than screams in the pages of poems, in broken dreams. They say love fades, but they never knew mine, a flame unburned yet forever divine. You were not a moment, you were the air, the whisper of life that was always there. You were the reason I learned to write, to turn my tears into soft light. Even if we never meet in this lifetime again, you will live in my verses, my joy and my pain. I am a poet before I am a man, and my only throne was holding your hand. So I loved you, though the world did not see how much of my soul belonged to thee. You were the ink that colored my fate, the calm in my storm, the love I await. I watched the season rise and fall, but your memory stayed. It outlasted all. I waited for signs in clouds and streams. I searched for your shadows inside my dreams. Each dawn I hoped you had appeared once more, stepping across my heart's closed door. You are the silence the morning keeps, the dream that returns when the body sleeps. I spoke your name to the trees and rain, and they answered softly, echoing your name again. I loved you gently, without demand, just waiting your soul to understand that even in distance, even in pain, I had loved you again and again and again. For love does not vanish, it only transforms, hiding in whispers, in shapes, in forms. I see you in colors, in dawn's first light, in the hush of evening, in stars at night. I hear you in laughter, I feel you in tears, in the soft touch of time across my ears. If I could go back, I had still choose you for love that was silent, was still pure and true. Though fate was cruel and distance unkind, I still keep you safe In corners of mind, for I loved you in silence, not to be seen, but to keep you holy, to keep you serene. I gave you my truth, my soul, my song, even knowing the world might call it wrong. You were my light, my reason to write, my achy, my peace, my endless night. Now time moves on and seasons depart, but your name still blooms inside my heart. Maybe one day our souls will align and you will finally hear this heart of mine. Until that day, my silence will speak in verses and echoes, humble and meek, for love never ends, it only hides in starlit skies and ocean tides. And if heaven asks what I lived for, I will simply say I loved her and needed no more. Thanks for watching. Subscribe my channel please.